Baby, you don't know what you do to me. Between me and you, I feel like chemistry. I won't let no one come in.
Hola, ¿cómo está? Me llamo MichelleChanel. Is that how you say it? It's been a long time. I'm saying I took it in high school. I took Spanish in high school. It's been a while. What am I supposed to say? I gotta greet the people and mix it up. Do it in another language. That's what I'm saying. Anyway, people are trying to criticize all the time. Anyway, it's so good to see y'all again. It's been quite some time. And to be honest, I just didn't know what I wanted to bring y'all this time. But every time I get in a confused state and I don't know what to do, I just sit down and get glam. At the end of the day, that's what I like to do. Today's video is going to be a full face, simple, cool tone, kind of shimmery glam. Hair is not included. But I love y'all and hair will be included later. Get into this eye look, liner, lashes, shadow. I just want to be cool tone but shimmery. I just have this vision in my head and I wanted to execute it, and I think it did an okay job. But yeah, let's go ahead and get into it about that time. Just go ahead and get ready with Krusty and then we'll meet back up later. Alright, call me. Call me if you need me. Just call me if you need me. I'll be here. Just call me. So I don't know if I can tell behind me, but it's raining and it's a gloomy day, and as usual Kenny is loud. But I feel like getting glam though, and it's been so long since not so long, but I mean, it's been a week and I post every week, you know, so let's get to it. I mean, you know, I don't know if I can tell, but I'm already moisturized because when I went to the gym earlier, I came home, took a shower, washed my face, I exfoliated, and I always use the CeraVe moisturizing cream mixed with my Bloom Effects Royal Tulip Nectar stuff, and I mix those together, but it's majority this because I need a heavy moisturizer. I'm just so in the mood. A wing liner, my matte shades, maybe a little shimmer. I don't know, I'm in the mood though. I'm gonna use the shade Mocha from the Born This Way brand. This is a multi-use sculpting concealer. Just gonna prime. I'm gonna go in with my 35U. This is the Gilded Desert collection from Morphe. I told y'all about this a while back and I feel like I've included it in every video since I discovered it. I'm gonna take this shade called Sonora to put into my crease and start building that up. I haven't done this in so long. I'm so excited. And I want this look to kind of go straight because I really want to look kind of like edgy. Especially when the wing liner comes in, I just feel like... Alright, so I'm going to take things a little bit deeper. I'm going to get a new brush. Same brush, by the way. This is the Morphe 453. It's one of their best brushes, I'm telling you. It's so good. And I'm going to take a shade in the palette called In the Shade. And it's very dark and charcoalish, still on the cool tone side. And I want to take that right up in here, a little bit lower. I'm going to take a flat brush now. I used this one earlier. This is the Morphe 421. I always use this one to carve out my brows. It is perfect for carving out the brows. I'm going to take this and I'm going to put my shimmer. Ugh. Do I want shimmer today? I think I do. So I'm taking this shade. Let me show y'all this shade because it's really unique. Right here. It's called Lustrous Life. I want to take that, and I don't want to cut the crease, but I do want this to be a little defined. So I'm going to skip putting concealer down and doing the cut, and I think I want to skip that. It might be a good idea to do it though. And I'm just going to place this naked. I'm just going to place it right on top right here because I really like this shade. It's so different. So I'm going to lay this down and we'll go in with another shimmer, I think, as like a topper to make our pinpoints pop a little bit more. I'm going to take the brush that has In the Shade on it and I'm going to go back and reinforce here on the outside and at the top of the shimmer. You know, you just want to make sure the shades are marrying together. I'm going to take another shade to top off the one we already put down. Naturally Radiant. It's right here at the bottom. Oh gosh, it's so hard to see. There you go. Right here. And I'm going to pat this on the inner corner just to make it pop and look a little bit more gradient as it goes into the end of the eye. Okay, I'm gonna stick with this for right now. I'm gonna go in with my liner now. And the liner that I always use is the H2O Proof Eyeliner Pen. And this is by e.l.f. Pretty good liner. Does what I need it to do, so that's a good thing. And that's being dark, matte, and it stays put. That's what you want. I'm due for another one, but we know how long it takes me. So you wait on it just like me, okay? And the beauty of doing your eyeliner before you actually, or your eyeshadow before you do your face, is that when you do a liner, it doesn't have to be 100% perfect because you can clean it up with your concealer later. So that takes the edge off. So consider that when you're like deciphering your routine. Like, am I gonna be an eyes first girl or a foundation first? You know, boom. You see how straight that is? I love when I do eyeliner this way. I love it. Let me straighten this out. I'll go ahead and show you guys the cleanup process because I'm going to use this. Well, I'll take a risk. Let me see. I think I have another flat looking one. Morphe 224. It's really big though, but this can't get the job done. I'm just going to have to be careful. This is how you do it. So you just get some sort of flat brush will do. And you go right under it and then make sure that hand just stays steady and follow it all the way out. And it snatches up that eye look with a quickness, girl. A very good guide for you once you get into doing the face, right? I'm gonna do my other eye and then we're gonna get into doing the beat. So be right. Okay, folks, so my other eye is okay, so this is mascara, and y'all know I always use the L'Oreal Telescopic Carbon Black mascara. Okay, I may go ahead and put my lashes on. So y'all know how I do that. I take my Duo lash glue. This is the green tube, and I just add that on straight to the eye. I know I no longer put glue on lash strips. It just doesn't last as long. And the lashes I'm going to be wearing are what I call universals because I can literally use this on anybody and they look great on everybody. And this is the 01 style in the I Envila Dreaming 3D Glamorous Eye Look box. So I get this shit out the hair store, and as you can see, they $6. And so this is 01. And right now I'm just trying to figure out, do I want to wear one pair of these or do I want to stack another pair on top? Same pair, just two of them because I just love the flare so much. Let's go in with the Maybelline at 368 in the Golden. Y'all have seen me use this a million times. I love my Juvia's Place, but we'll use this one, especially because I know the shade is spot on. And I'm using a brush today because I was too lazy to get up earlier and wet my sponge or clean my sponge. Just a FYI, because I feel like there's not a debate, but I feel like people have difference in opinions. I wash my sponge every time I do my makeup. Every single time. It's like in my routine of getting ready to do my makeup. I wash my sponge. And so I never reused the sponge before. I've never done that before. And I clean my brushes every time I do my makeup, so I don't use dirty brushes. One time I did, and that was around the time where y'all saw breakouts over here and over here. It's because I was too lazy to get up and do it. And so that basically humbled me and reminded me why I wash my brushes every single time I do my makeup, every time. I've been taking my concealer down a notch as far as brightness. I think I've been maturing when it comes to makeup as well. I think starting to get a deeper understanding of what products do and letting the product do it. You know what I'm saying? I've been lowering my shades in concealer. This is 410 in the Fenty concealer, and usually I would go in with 385, but this is 410 and the shade is a little bit down. I tell myself, I literally say it out loud, your setting powder is bright. Your setting powder is bright. Your setting powder is bright. Like I say it to myself because I don't need a really bright concealer and then to go in with translucent powder. Even though it is translucent, it does add an element of brightening. So there's no need for me to do that, you know what I'm saying, with both of the products. So that's why I've been comfortable going in with 410 lately. But y'all know our concealing areas: chin, upper lip, nose bridge, forehead, and under eye. I'm gonna use my e.l.f. concealer sponge, and I'm gonna wet it a little bit, and I'm gonna use this to blend. Okay, as of now, what has me in a chokehold are the Fenty matchsticks, and these are what I use to contour. I use Ebony first, and I go right up under the concealer, which is even above my contour line, my natural contour line. I go above, and I go right up under there in a diagonal motion. I take it on the temples and also on the bridge of the nose, bringing that in so we can snatch that, and then a little bit right here in the front of my jawline. And then I go in with Caviar, which is their darkest one, and it is really dark, and I go right under the bronzer. For definition, I put one dot on each side, and then I take it along my jawline right there. And they are magnetic, so you literally, like, you can't lose them, because I'm gonna lose them. I am. And then I'm gonna go ahead and, before I blend this in, and this is my Kevyn Aucoin Sensual Skin Enhancer. Most people really don't use this, and I get it because it's so heavy duty. Like, I feel like most people don't need it, but I like to include this step so y'all can see, because this is what I do for longevity, and this is a full coverage look. So if I'm going full coverage and I need things to stay put, especially a problem area, this is my problem area, so I'm gonna let that sit there. And so we're gonna go in with this brush. This is a Morphe 449, perfect for blending out your creams. And I'm gonna start over here. Okay, so I always like to go in for blending and marrying together with your foundation tool, whether it be the sponge, the brush, what have you. Just like to go in and blend between the two, because it just takes away the demarcation. You see that? So that is a must-have rule for sure. This step makes, you know what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? Just by doing that. A Morphe 173. And it just fits perfectly right here in crevices like this to blend things out. Even for concealer to get in there, it would be perfect for that. So this is just a really good brush. It's very dense, so it makes it really good for creams like this. So now I'm going back in with my sponge, and I'm going to use this to go ahead and buff out, blend out the Kevyn Aucoin concealer. And I don't like to tap too much and blend it away because I need it there. So I don't like to do too much when it comes to this. Now I'm going to take my foundation brush, and yes, it is very big, but I pat it over my contour area and concealer because it blends that out. You see that? It blends that out. I would do the same thing if I use the sponge today. Same thing. And so boom, there we go. So I've actually switched the way I do my powders now. I actually go in first with my Huda Beauty in Blondie. Very bright, but I love it because it always matches to my chest. And I go a little brighter because of the difference in brown. Bust out those creases. It has a little sifter, so it gets a little glowy. Excess off on the back of the hand, and go in on those under eyes. Thin layers at a time. I try to remember that every time I do my makeup. Thin layer shell, especially if I'm in a rush, I just be slapping powder on. That was layer number 2, and I usually do 3 thin layers. Now we go in with the rest of our concealed areas. Okay, so my next thing is bronzer, and y'all know my favorite one has been Cocoa Whoa by Morphe in that same desert collection, Go to Desert. And I'm gonna take a fluffy brush, little dome shaped fluffy brush. This is those gold brushes Morphe came out with. This is Y11, and I take that right under my concealer. And you know where you place Ebony, remember where we place Ebony, same spot. Temples, right up here. Another just plain eyeshadow brush. I think I got this one from Amazon. And I just run that bronzer down the nose. It will come off harsh, but that's perfectly fine because we have other things to settle that matter. So just make sure you get that nose set. Okay, now we're gonna go in with our all over face powder. So when I'm doing full coverage, right, I like to first go in with 360 Mocha. It's full coverage. I need it to stay. I need it to build. So we are going to be building our powder. So this is the first one that I use all over my face. I take 2, maybe 3 layers of this on each side of the face. I allow it to run over everything. And I definitely recommend these Maybelline pressed powders. Y'all may call me crazy for our next step, but this is what makes me look smooth like a baby's bottom. Okay, these things are crazy. So I take 445, okay, and this is a Fenty pressed powder foundation. You know the ones. And I use that on top of everything again. And this just makes me look extremely smooth. Like, I don't know what is in these things, but I look so smooth. So I just gotta have it. I gotta have it. After that, I go in and reinforce bronzer and contour. Let me tell you how crazy I am. So I got another Fenty one in a bronzer shade. So I'm gonna take the same brush that I just used for bronzer, and I'm gonna reinforce my bronzer with this. And when I tell you, because I use these in such multiple steps, my whole face looks filtered at this point. And so that was 470. 445 was all over my face. 470 was my bronzer, and I used 480 to contour. I'm gonna use the Real Techniques contour brush. Pat that, and we're gonna get in there. And then I take this same thing and run it along where I contour down here on the jawline. Beautiful. I still go in with my contour shade. Y'all might know it from the Morphe 8R palette. Up here in the corner, I run that over it too. So taking my face powder brush, I just brush it over the contours on my nose just to make sure we're still blended. I'm just gonna press under my eye just to make sure everything is pressed in. And I'm gonna take my One Size powder, which I now use to brighten and bake instead of setting initially. Just wanted to change that step up because the Huda Beauty powder has a little bit of a tint to it, and this one is actually a beige white, but still it is translucent though. Don't do One Size, honey, because this stuff is translucent. It's amazing. And I just use that to press some under the eye right here. For the slightest bit of bake, and I'm just gonna let that sit there until the very end. So for finishing touches, I'm just gonna take a little bit of shadow and put it on the outer area of my eye. I'm gonna take in the shade and that shade Sonara. So both this one over here and then this one up here. Mix the two together, nothing too major, and I'm just gonna put it on the outer third of my lower lash line. And then I take mascara and I'm just gonna add that to my lower lashes, and that will complete the eye. So a trick that I've been doing lately, I take my brow pen, which is running out of product, which is why I didn't use it on my brows today. Sorry. And I draw a line to basically delete my Cupid's bow because I like a rounded top lip. So I take that, fuse the two sides of my Cupid's bow together, as you can see. And then I take it down here and down here on each side. Boom. That's how I like to keep it. And then I like to use what I use on my brows to go over, help blend, but also adds a liner. I like to go pretty dark with the liner. And then I go in with NYX Dark Brown. For the majority of the rest of the lips. So now I have shape and then I have definition all together. So what I've been doing lately for my lips, I've been taking a lip lacquer. This is number 64, Unreal by Maybelline. And it's the best. It's just really good. Put a little bit of that on. Okay, so my next lip gloss is Mars by Morphe. So I think this is one of their newer shades. Pretty. And then I take Oyster Girl by MAC. I use her sparingly, okay? Because, you know, special occasions. I'm taking this brush right here that I used earlier to pat under my eye. To pat that powder. Then I'm taking the sponge that I used to cut the cheek, clean up a little bit. I haven't really been highlighting my face as of recent, but this is definitely my full coverage routine. Like, let me get this together, okay? Okay, I'm back. We're about done, but I forgot to add a little color to my cheeks. So I'm about to use Doom Buggy in this palette. It's like a orangey type of blush. In a way, it's orangey. Because orange blushes on dark skin. I can see it, but I don't know if y'all can see it. But I love y'all. Be sure to subscribe to my channel. Let me know what it is that you want to see. Thank y'all for the support. Thank y'all for subscribing. Shout out to y'all. Okay, but you gotta go. Bye.
I'm so anxious just to feel the sun.